Hey folks, it's Frithgar here, how you doing? Welcome back to Farming Simulator 22 here in Gelderland. And the one thing that I have done, like the bakery and the base game cereal factory, and there's a couple of others, I can't really alter the pallets on those because although actually I can. The thing is, I can't alter those unless I just have them all altered permanently. And I don't really want to do that. What I want to do instead is I want to have the factories, as I do those expensive upgrades and go to Cat 5 and Cat 10, the pallets come out bigger as well. I can't do that with the base game pallets, unfortunately, so I wasn't actually planning on doing that. I was going to just leave some of them as they are, so like the cereal and bread, cake, they'll stay as they are. But all of these that have got unique products, like the pancakes and everything, they change as the factories upgrade. So like the potatoes over there. The reason I'm saying all this is because like the potatoes that just came out, like I loaded everything up and I had 200,000 euros coming off of my lorry. Now if I'm aiming to get 20 million, that's a lot of lorry loads going backwards and forwards. So what I'm saying is we're not actually gonna have to do that. I'm not gonna be limited like 200,000 a time unless it's eggs. Obviously eggs is an awful lot more. So we will actually be able to, as we progress, make more money, because instead of being like 25,000 litres per pallet that we've got at the moment, so if I, that back one does oh, it will for the eggs, but if I just turn this one off a second, there, so you can see that I've got 8 pallets of ketchup right there, and I got 20,000 litres of ketchup, because those pallets of ketchup are 5,000 litres each. And the mayonnaise on there, I got 120,000 mayonnaise, and that is 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. There's 12 on there. This is 10,000 litres per pallet of mayonnaise. As the factory gets bigger, as it progresses, the pallets get bigger as well. I have much, much bigger pallets later on. So like the potato factory, instead of those being, I think they're 2,000 litres each at the moment, or maybe, yeah, I think they're 2,000, they increase by a very large margin. So we will be selling an awful lot more of those products as time goes on, as we sort of progress through the factory sizes. And that means that each lorry load that we take through will be making a huge amount more on money, which is what we want. That's kind of what we want. So in order to be able to get the 15 million for a really big factory, I'm not going to have to do like 20 trailer loads of goods. It'll still just be 1 or 2 trailer loads of goods each time. So I just wanted to let you know that, because I could... this is why I made the pallets all so much bigger, because I was looking at that previously and thinking this would be an absolute disaster. It's just going to be so horrifically tedious trying to deal with that. And that is absolutely not something that I want. I don't like tedium. I very easily get bored with all sorts of things. You probably noticed that with the way that I do my series. And I don't want to be getting that feeling, that sensation of boredom setting in. Right, so now we're selling mayonnaise and ketchup and lots of pancakes, and we've also got several eggs on this trailer, on this front bit. So I don't know how many eggs we've got here, but we've got several. There's a lot of money already going through. Those eggs are 25,000 litres per pallet, and so that's kind of like a set amount on those. And the one with all the eggs, that got us €1 million. And let's shut that one off. So I now have 1.6 million, which is enough to build a shed. So we can actually go and build our first shed. Well, let's say our first shed. We've got a shed over here, but we want a better shed. We want a bigger shed. Bigger is always better, as far as we're concerned in this series. I now need to find the correct shed. There's lots and lots of sheds like this, where it's open-fronted, which is a really good style of machinery shed. And I guess I could use one of these for something, but it's not really what I want. Like a lot of these, I want something that's bigger and I want to be able to drive through. I don't want a closed side on my shed. I got a lot of mods for sheds here, but it seems that none of them are entirely suitable for what I'm trying to achieve. What I want is just a really, really, really big shed that doesn't have a back on it. And it seems that such a thing does not exist. Which is appalling. Except for the Platinum expansion. The Platinum expansion does have a really, 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 really big shed without sides on it. This surprises me. I genuinely thought I would have had more options for the one with no sides, but apparently I don't. Well, that's all right. We will make do with what we got. So this one, I think, is actually going to be perfect for what we want. I'll bring it back this way because I don't want to be too far close to the eggs. I need to be able to spin around with the lorry on that. So we're going to drop that one down there like that. And we now have a shed. Look at this. Fantastic. Yes, I could do some work with landscaping and so on, and maybe we will do that later on. But we're going to need to start... Well, you're ready for tomorrow. We will do this one first. This is a little bit of a test drive. We can just see that this one fits, and it does appear to fit inside. Look at that. Look at the acres of space. This is perfect. This is exactly the sort of shed that I want. So have our combine over here. This one, this definitely needs to go into the shed. I've got some headers over there on our root crop machine. So the combine, that one can go around. This shed is absolutely enormous. Right, it genuinely is. It's huge. This is perfect. So I can put that one there like that, and then have you. And you're already hitched in with a trailer there. So this one can go up here like this. I'm not actually going to be using this one this year. And I'll unhitch that there. And then I'll go and get the other trailer. And I'll pull that one in here as well. And we'll leave the machine right beside it. I don't know how much money we get back from the solar panels on this one. Does it say on the screen there from where we bought it? It's the Platinum expansion. The Agipack. Oh, yeah, that's the new bit. And then we got the Platinum expansions. The Agipack was separate. But that one right there, shelter with photovoltaics. So this one doesn't give anything. This one here is $2,400 a month. Production building with photovoltaics. But this one here, $2,880 a month coming in from this shed. That's brilliant. I love that. I love the fact that we get that extra income from it, because we are doing our renewable energies bit over the other side in that other field, and I will continue that in the new series, definitely. I kind of like that idea. Right, let's bring you over this way and sit you up in here. There's monstrous size of these machines that I've got here, and yeah, I'm deliberately putting those at an angle because the trailers are at an angle. These are huge machines, absolutely enormous, and they are dwarfed by this shed. This shed is perfect for what we want. This is absolutely perfect in every way shed for this series. So I'll probably build this shed again in the next map, whichever map that is. I don't know which it will be yet. As I said previously, I think I will probably go with something on the lines of finish at the end of the harvest on this map, or finish in, say, December on this map. So we get to the end of this year and then we will be moving. So there's still several episodes to go yet, because we've got all of our harvests to do and a few other bits and pieces like that. So I think it's going to work out rather nicely. Put that one down there. You over here. We can just put you in the shed here somewhere. I'm not going to worry too much about the rest of the stuff right now. We'll just put that one undercover. Right, so as I finish up with stuff, I can now just drive in, and it's undercover, and everything is tickety-boo and wonderful. I got a few eggs left over there. I know I'm not too concerned about them. Let's just check on the animals and make sure I don't need to move anything around for them. 900,000 food in there, 600,000 food in there. That is absolutely fine. Right, you are fine, everything else is fine. Let's go. It is a brand new day. 12,500 on our loan interest, 33,869 on property interest. The eggs are growing out through there, so we will quickly go in. 300,000 left on the food in there, 600,000. So we're using about 300,000 litres of food per 24 hours on the cows and also on the chickens, thereabouts. And all of it. Why? What have you? Oh, we have no flour. Tomatoes are starting to accumulate, which is good, but we have no flour, and we won't get flour until we begin our harvest. Well, that's fair enough. So the bread is going to slow down as well. Let's feed the chickens, because we've only got 300,000 for them. They got 300,000 litres in there, so I can tip this out, and I got 1.2 million at the moment. So if I take this and run it around to this one over here, we will get buy the next lot. Not sure if I'm going to have the big bud running in the next series. I might try to avoid this tractor. I bought this one because there's some of the really, really big seed drills that I was playing around with needed this tractor to be able to pull them. The others just weren't really up to the task, which is fine, but it don't really want to do that now. So let's go grapes, sorghum, canola, oat, barley would be the one. Just load you up right there. I'm just going to stay here because I want to see this one fill up. I'm curious how much it's going to cost, and I don't want to miss this bit. The cattle feed over there is fine. I don't need to worry about it. We sold everything last month, so we're not going to sell anything now. Our next job is going to be jump on the tractor over there, and we will take that one down to the grass fields, and we will start doing our mowing down there. We've already gone through and cut all the grass for the town, which is something else. 352,124 euros to fill that one up. That's a lot of money. One thing I won't be doing in the next series is I will not be buying in any feed. I don't like that I'm buying in feed for these, but I mean 300,000. I think I'm actually having to buy 3 million euros of food per month for the chickens. 3 million euros a month is a lot of money. That is an absolutely obscene amount of money. So I want to be able to grow our own food. Now, if I'm going to do that with the chickens, that's fine. I can do that with the chickens. But what I'm thinking is that we start off with like 10 chickens in the coop, and we don't have any more than that. And then we build up from there, and we just let the chickens accumulate themselves. Because I bought like 10,000 chickens, and that really kick-started things. It doesn't take long for the chickens to start expanding for themselves. It's like so we get more offspring. Reproduction time is 2 months, so they very quickly build up, and that's going to be a slight problem for us. So it might be that on the next map we don't get chickens to start with. Actually, we'll have to look at that in 2 different ways. So which way would you like me to do it? Would you like me to start off focusing on the chickens like we have here? Because let's be honest, those chickens are a boon to everything that we do, right? Those chickens really do make a genuine difference to the way that we're able to do all of the stuff that we do right here. And the reason is, like, the amount of money that we get for those eggs coming in. We're on the hard economy in this game, and the amount of money that we get for the eggs really genuinely makes a difference to the overall ability for us to buy anything. Like, it's the eggs that make it. Yes, there's other things that we're selling, and we're making money on those, and eventually those other things will exceed the money that we make from the eggs. But at the moment, it's the eggs that are the big cash That's the big cash input is absolutely 100% from those eggs. We get hundreds of, we get like €1 million from the eggs every couple of months, and it's because of that that we've been able to buy everything else that we have on this series. So I do want to have them. I'm quite happy to acknowledge the fact that the eggs, compared to everything else that we're doing, might be a little bit OP. So if you consider the eggs to be a little bit overpowered, maybe we shouldn't have the eggs here all of the time. Maybe we should not have the chickens to start with, and in fact we should... I'm in May. That should be... Oh, it is. I'm looking at it. Yeah, it is. That's the fertilized yield bonus, 98%. That is full grown. Is that full grown? I think that's full grown texture on the grass. Yeah, I'm genuinely not sure. I know that's a grown texture on the grass, but this was like it because it's planted. I think it is. Oh well, if it's not, it's not. There's not a lot that we can do about it. I need grass anyway, so we're going to do this. So yeah, like I could do things a little bit differently. I could, instead of, and this is a slight problem for me here with the amount of grass that we're getting now, is the tractor is not able to run quite so swiftly up and down the field. So yeah, I could do things a little bit differently and not have chickens to start with. If we did have the chickens to start with, we would focus on the chickens. Like, the chickens would be the important part. We would absolutely 100% focus on getting those, which means that we would have to grow enough wheat and barley in order to feed them. And I would make sure that we were doing that. That would be my absolute priority throughout, is enough wheat and barley being grown to feed those chickens. I don't want to be buying any in. So, to start with, we would be spending a lot of time just growing the wheat and barley in order to make sure that we've definitely got enough. And this is great, except that, yeah, the way this is working out is kind of good, but also not. We're going to be leaving bits behind and so on. So it's not quite as fast on the ground. Well, it is now. It's managed to build up a bit of speed. But at the same time, this is not ideal, is it? And it still feels slow. I'm not quite sure what to do about the grass, because obviously if I'm increasing the number of cows that I've got exponentially to the kind of scale that I do eventually want on this map, we're going to need to have maybe a slightly different method of gathering the grass. I mean, I could just change this around so that the mower is even wider than it is right now, and I got no problem with doing that. I could definitely make this a whole lot wider than it is right now, and I did say, you know, maybe it would be a little bit too overkill for you all, but let's be honest, most of you want major overkill on this thing. It's better to overkill than underkill on this series. It absolutely is. And I'm quite happy to go and do that. I got no problems with doing that or whatsoever, but you may not necessarily want me to. Let's move back over this fair bit. So yeah, I'm kind of like wondering. I do think that the zero grazing machine, that has got potential. I don't know if I'm going to be able to modify that very well yet. I haven't cracked open the cover on that one to take a look at the gubbins underneath. The gubbins is the technical term, by the way. I haven't had a good chance to have a look under the cover and see what I can do with that one. So I may be able to do, it'd be kind of work in a similar principle to this, except that instead of having anything on the front of the tractor, it's all combined on the back of the tractor, which would work really well. That could actually be a thing that would work really well. I mean, I could modify what I've got right here, and instead of the grass being dumped between the tractor wheels, instead I dump it on either side of the tractor wheels. I wouldn't do it with this particular mower. I like this mower, and I picked this one out for doing this because it's a really old-fashioned finger mower, and I just thought it would be really cool to have that as kind of like the crazy on this. I thought it would look pretty cool. I'm going to put the hired help going on this and just see if they're able to cope with it. They do seem to be able to cope with it. They do seem to be able to cope rather remarkably. This is excellent. This is what we want. We need our hired helps to be able to cope with this. I'm quite pleased with that. I don't think I can use hired help if I have that zero graze machine. Whereas if I have this one, I can use the hired help. And I would use a different set of mowers that could go on the front, and then it would split the line of grass and it would come down either side of the tractor. So we would have no problem at all picking everything up, because obviously we've got the really wide pickup on this, what do you call, forage wagon anyway, so that wouldn't be any issues at all. I think this could actually work really well. I really do. And the other thing that I need to be able to do with this series is, we turn off the hired help there a moment. The other thing I need to be able to do with this series is I absolutely need to be able to just leave the little bits of the field behind. And that is something I genuinely do struggle with. I don't like to leave the little bits behind. It pains me to leave the little bits behind. I don't want to do it ever. I'll be able to do it there. I need to... Okay, he's actually being a bit more difficult there, but I did manage it. It genuinely pains me to leave the little bits behind. I don't like it, so that's why I do frequently go back to get them, but I don't want to do that. I don't want to keep doing that. I would like to be able to just gather up, like just leave. So I have done over there is like a couple little bits that I've left behind, and I know that I've left them behind, but it doesn't matter, because in the grand scheme of things, I got 1.6 million litres of grass on board this thing. Leaving those bits behind, it's not going to make any difference at all. Like, even if I go back and there's 10,000 litres there, it's still the scale of stuff that we're doing now. 10,000 litres is nothing. And if 10,000 litres is genuinely going to make a difference to what I'm trying to achieve, then I'm doing something wrong. I absolutely am doing something wrong. Like, if there was 150,000 litres being left behind, then maybe I should be going back to get it. That would actually make sense. The weird thing with this is the way that when you switch to hired help, it no longer cuts out any further than the edge of the field. I noticed that previously, and it does make me chuckle that the hired help only goes out as far as there. They shorten the bar. I don't know how they do it, but somehow they managed to completely shorten the bar on this. I'm going to let him drive up to the end of the field, and then... Well, her, actually. Let her drive to the end of the field, and then... Oh, he's stopping anyway. And the reason that I wanted to do that was because I want to do this. I want to go... Start you up. I want to lower you down, like that. Because I'm almost full. I got 2 million litres of grass on board. There's a little bit left, but I'm not going to worry about getting any more now. I think one trailer load of 2 million litres of grass is probably enough to see us through, at least for a little while. And I'll drive up here and just get a little bit on the road. I only want to do a little bit. Just going to see if I can get to like 198. Okay, it's on 198. Now it's on 199. I need to turn off the mower soon. I don't want to leave a clump of grass behind. That's all I'm thinking. So I need to... Actually, you know what? We'll turn off the mower now. Because then I'm not going to be leaving any grass behind. So I will turn that one off. Pick it up. Fold it up. Like that. Go forward and just pick up that bit of grass. It's right there. I've got 1,999,108 litres on board. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. That's what we want. So it's 2 million litres of grass that I have got on board this bad boy right here. We can run this back, and I will tip that into our machine. I'm not going to bother going back and getting any more out of the field, although I am now going to need to spread fertilizer on the bit that we have cut. This was the other thing that I was wondering about, because, like, when you go over it with here, I don't need to spread fertilizer. Like, I've got that bit there has all been left behind. I don't need to put fertilizer on the grass. Absolutely is not needed. So even if I go and put a little bit on, it's still going to be helping it. It's not going to hurt in the slightest if I don't do a good job with, excuse me, putting fertilizer on that field. So let's do that then, shall we? Let's get over the ditch right there. I didn't actually expect that to get all the way across. I genuinely thought he wasn't going to make it. So I'm going to bring you over here. We're going to skip across into the field there, like that. And I'm going to run down to this corner of the field. And then I'm going to start the hired help just spreading fertilizer. And I will let it carry on up across the field. I'm hoping that it will do the entire field. But it doesn't matter if it doesn't. It absolutely doesn't matter if it turns around and gives up, like, partway through. We'll have done some, and I don't think it's going to make a big difference. Like, I think we get, like, 50% yield on here. So it's, yeah, 50% fertilized on there. I don't think it makes a huge amount of difference to the overall yield on the field if we were to do it like that. Let's just bring you over a bit further so that we're not getting tangled up in the trees. Bring you back there like that, and then I just press H. Okay, so I'm away from the edge of the field. He's definitely not going to get tangled up in the trees, and he should then go on and do an absolutely wonderful job. So hired help will do that bit. And then I can go back over here and get this over to our forage place, and we can get this unloaded. He's a bit slow pulling away, isn't he? I don't think I've got 2 million litres worth of weight on this thing. I'm pretty sure it's got the setting set in the XML to ignore the weight of the machine. I'm pretty sure it has. Like 2 million litres. I wouldn't be able to go anywhere if this was actually weighing it down properly. I just don't think it would. Let's bring you over here. And I'll get that one unloaded. It's been a little while since I was here, because I've been away on holiday, and, yeah, I got several... Unfortunately, folks, that is all we have got time for today. A massive thank you to everybody who has earned their way into the Great Book of Names. To find out some more details about all the names coming past, please head into the description and click on the link to the Discord. It's a link to another video. The link is on the other video. Please also consider checking out the links there for Nitrado, who provide gaming servers for games like Farming Simulator, Minecraft, Ark, and several others. And there's also Fanatical, who will help support your gaming habit by providing you with cheap games and also giving me a small commission on anything that you buy using my link. If you've enjoyed this particular video, then please head down below and give us a like. And if you really enjoyed it, then please tell your friends all about me. Get them to come and watch as well. That would be awesome. And until next time, thank you very much for watching. This is Frithgar. Goodbye, and see you later.